We're going to solve equations, and I've written instructions on this. The instructions are the exact same thing as the foldable you have. Exactly.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
They're just written a little different. The foldable is probably more user-friendly. The instructions are more later on. I am interested in the process more so than the answer. The process tells me a lot. Everything we do will be processed now. If you can't fit it on the sheet of paper that you have, put it on another one. So let's talk about solving equations. So the first thing we're going to do is look. Now, I got a big equation right here, and this is the one we're going to solve together. Get out your pencil. So we've got a fairly large equation, 2 times x plus 4 plus 2 equals x minus 3 times x minus 6. So the first thing we're going to do is we're looking for grouping symbols. Mostly it'll be parentheses. Later on as you get in math, they'll start using brackets and curly braces all over the place. When you get to very high functions, each of that has specified. If you get to calculus, a whole 2-hour test can be 1 or 2 questions.
No way.
Yes, and it's just you breaking it all out.
No.
So we're going to use distributive property. Well, we have that 2 cases right here. So distributive property, to do that, you guys are going to write the arrows. So this is 2 times x and 2 times a positive 4. We keep the signs with it. Over here, remember, keep the signs. That is a negative 3 times x and a negative 3 times negative 6. So the very first thing we're going to do is distribute. What is 2 times x? 2x. What is 2 times 4?
8.
So 2x plus 8 plus 2, we're bringing everything down, plus equals x, because that one didn't do anything, negative 3 times x. Negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 6. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive, so positive 18. So we've done step 1, check. Step 2 says combine like terms on the left side. So let's look at the left side. Do we have like terms? Well, we got some dogs here, cats, and cats. Well, we got 2 sets of cats, right? Constants.
Yes.
So the dogs stay the same, 2x. What's 8 plus 2?
10.
And that equals, well, I'm going to, before I write this, I'm going to go to the next step. It says combine like terms on the right side. So we've got dog minus some dogs plus some cats. So these got some variables, right?
Yeah.
What's x minus 3x?
2x.
2x. No, it would be 4x.
3x.
Remember, which one's the larger? Is it the positive? X is actually 1x, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that ninja. Always sneak it up. So 1x minus 3x. Which has the larger sign? Which has the...
So it's just 2x.
Which one is the greatest distance from 0? Is it 1x or negative 3x?
Negative 3x.
So you keep the sign, the negative sign. And then you subtract the other. So what's 3 minus 1?
2.
It's a negative.
Negative 2x. And then the cats just come straight down as 18. Check. We've done step 3. Now, we're going to draw our fence at this point. You can draw the fence earlier, but I find sometimes things get squishy left and right as you're going, and it doesn't look real perfect, so I usually wait to draw the fence here. That means anything we do the left side, we're going to do the right side. So let's look. It says, are there variables on both sides?
Yeah.
Look for the variable with the smaller coefficient and add the opposite of it. So I've got 2x and negative 2x. Which is the smaller coefficient? So what's the opposite of negative 2x?
Positive 2x.
So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So 2x plus 2x is
4x.
4x. I bring down the plus 10. Negative 2x plus 2x goes away altogether. I just bring down the 18. So step 4, check. Everyone good to this point?
Yeah.
Sit up. So let's look. Is there a constant on the same side as the variable? Does the side with the variable have a cat, a constant?
Yes.
What is it?
10.
What's the opposite of 10?
Negative 10.
So I'm going to add negative 10 to both sides. So the 4x comes down. 10 minus 10 is nothing. We'll just drop it away. You could write 0, but all you're doing is carrying a bunch of zeros. And 18 minus 10 is?
8.
Done that. Step 6. We're going to undo the coefficient by doing the opposite operation. Right now, what operations take place? Is it multiplication or division?
Multiplication.
So we want to divide. A fraction is the same thing as division. So we're going to divide by the coefficient, both sides. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, right? And I don't have to write 1. So x equals, what is 8 divided by 4?
2.
2. Now, and I'm going to do this over here. We use the last step, says put your answers back in. So I had 2 times, anytime I have x, I'm going to replace it with 2. 2 times 2 plus 4 plus 2 equals, do you see what I'm doing over here?
Yes.
So anytime I've got an x, I'm replacing it. So equals, what's this x going to be? 2 minus 3 times x, which is 2 minus 6. Now the great thing is you guys have calculators. So if you type that in, it's going to tell you. The biggest problem you're going to have with the calculator is you're not going to write these numbers down, and you're just going to start writing in the calculator. Yep, thanks. You're going to start typing in the calculator, and you're going to get a false because you just randomly. You don't even have a calculator. Get it done. Open it up and start doing it.
Where it says like the negative 3, would I put the negative sign or a minus?
This is a minus 3. You only have to use the negative sign if it's the beginning number. Like if this first number was a negative 2, you'd have to put a negative there. But because it's following something, just use the minus. Everyone type that in?
Is that a negative 3?
If it's true.
True.
So life is golden. Once it says true, life is golden. So here's, I've got 3 problems below. I want you to work in groups. You can use another piece of paper. You can write on the next page in your notebook there. You don't have to put them all in here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the person sitting in the first position is going to do the first one, then the second one, and then the third person sitting in third position. Good. So now you're going to talk it through. Remember, talk them through, step by step. Go ahead and get it done. For my viewing audience, I wish I could pause this, but I can't. It doesn't give that option on this Zoom. There's no pause. There's freeze stop, but it doesn't work. Okay, you explain to them what you're doing. Catch, you've not been in here for this, right?
No.
So what you're going to do is you're going to talk your way through this to them. So you're going to work through problem 1, and you're going to walk them through step by step. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
You're going to do the
First step, looking for distributive.
distributive problem.
So talk them through, and they'll agree with you or disagree with you. Once they agree with you, you can write it down. Are you working through this?
That could be all some friends.
Okay, what are we doing?
First we're going to do negative 1 times x plus.
Yeah, because negative times 1 times
I don't know why you just
Negative 1 times x, which is just
Sit up.
negative x.
and kickstand your face and join in.
And then you
Okay, you
do
guys
negative
talk.
X.
Where's your notebook? Get it out. You can use the pages.
Then you do negative
It's kinda
1
small.
times 4, which is just negative.
What do you
And
think
then
about
we
that?
just remove everything else down.
So on your second line, it should be x plus x.
Since it's on the... Do you want all pages? You just do negative 1 times x, which
Negative
is
1
negative
times.
x. And then you do negative 1 times 4, which is just negative 4. So then you put x plus 4 is equal to
One times
negative
four.
x plus
So
negative 4.
this is gonna be
And you're gonna get
Negative 1 times 4.
1x.
So
is
x.
not
Wait, what did you say?
X plus 4 is equal to negative
Times
x
a
plus
negative times
negative
positive.
4.
okay, so 2x plus 4
Okay.
equals 4.
The
Wait.
negative.
So,
And then you
So
move your negative x
Plus
over
negative 4, you just do minus
to
4.
the x.
we don't have
You gotta put some more.
X plus what? 4?
Move the negative x to the left
Where's
side.
there a negative x? You didn't say negative x.
Yes, I said x plus 4 is equal to negative x plus negative 4
since the negative one is supposed to
X
be
plus
negative,
4.
right?
is equal to negative x plus
Yes.
negative 4.
Oh yeah, I see. Now what?
Move the negative x to the left side and for that x. Just
What don't
the
you
answer is
Positive.
So what's the next step? Where's your
Combine.
yeah,
Oh,
so combine like terms? You have like terms on the left side?
X plus 4.
You just got
Negative x.
Then we're
you
gonna
have like
add
terms on the right side.
No, I mean,
so you should have 2x plus 4 is equal
No, all I have is a negative
no,
x.
this would be 2.
The variables on both sides.
Yes.
Okay, which is the smallest?
Because the x has to be
I blanked out after you said it 3 times.
So you move the other side. What's the opposite of it?
I think you
So
have
you
to
move
So drop this to
Move the negative x to the left side.
or the positive x,
Sorry, but
but then you'd have to change the sign so it'd be a positive x plus positive x. So then it'd be 2x.
add your positive and both sides.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am?
I don't know where you go.
Where?
No, remember,
So x plus 4.
Okay, now what?
And then you should have 2x plus 4 is equal to negative 4.
Now, here, why do you have, okay, here's where you got trouble.
2x plus
Right?
4?
You did negative x.
It
What's
is
the
equal
opposite
to
of
negative
negative 1x?
How? Where's the negative
You
part?
didn't add. And over here you didn't add. You had x plus x equals 1x.
Do we need
X plus x
DRP
equals
drawn
1x.
on the board for you?
Yes.
Green crown.
Yeah, draw on that.
Okay, why? Okay,
Is that 2?
Yeah, 2x
you
plus
added x to both sides, right?
where? Yeah.
Now,
Right here.
how did you get the negative x
2x
plus positive x?
plus 4 equals negative
It's the last.
You're not doing the same thing to both sides. So you put a plus 1x, that should be x, right?
2x plus 4.
You should do negative 1
Don't
times
separate
x,
the
and then you
variables.
do negative 1.
Oh, okay, I got it. I got it.
So put your x.
So you should have this.
2x.
Yes.
Yeah, I must certainly do
divided by
that.
Now you have plus 1x
Maybe,
over
maybe I
here.
do.
And then
I think I
divided by
should.
3. It'll be like
The
this.
negative 1x plus the positive 1x is what? No.
So then you should have this.
Yeah, no.
Wait, keep it up, keep it up.
Negative 1
Divide that by 2.
plus 1. Get your calculator out. Do negative 1
Excuse me,
plus
do not complain to other people about us.
Please don't.
Good.
So they just kill each other off, right? So that one goes away, bring down your negative 4.
You're great.
Right? So you bring down your negative 4. Right? So this kills it, right? So you bring down your negative 4. Okay, so what's 1x plus 1x?
Okay, I have it now.
1x plus
You have it
1x
right now.
to what?
Oh, yeah.
You're adding
Just bring down your 4.
negative plus negative.
Now, go to the next step.
Yeah, no, but you add those two. Negative plus negative is positive, right?
Well, like, you know, negative times.
Oh.
I almost done.
Okay, so which one we have?
I was done halfway through the ball.
X
I
plus
already know the answer.
Okay, good for you. We weren't in
So
algebra.
x plus 4 equals
Yeah,
negative
we're
1.
making
So you did negative 1. And here's my question. What's negative 1 times positive?
Yeah, you get 4.
That would be negative. This is
Yes.
negative 4.
You know when I'm gonna get mad because I was shaking. I was shaking just now.
At least I know that.
Go right to like, what's over the TV? I was sideways.
I'll just do number one.
Dude, why can't I just say something nice like that?
For our viewers, we're going to take a break, and I'll put it on the second film.